Alright guys, well, we are talking about the Summit Open Shot today. Y'all stay tuned, check out this video. Alright guys, so just like the intro said, we are talking about the Summit Open Shot. I had previously done a review on this this stand right here before bow season came in for us, and it was more of an unboxing and first impressions type view. So now that I've had some time to really use it, I probably got about 40 to 50 sits in this thing now, so I've kind of got a good idea of what I like about it, things I don't like about it, if you haven't checked out the first video, you can go check it out. It's on the channel here, but as promised, this is the part 2 after I've actually got some hours in this stand. So we're going to go over some of the things that I liked, some of the things I didn't like, and just do a quick brief overview of everything. Alright guys, so I'm just going to go ahead and start with the pros. Just to let you know though, I am not sponsored or affiliated with Summit in any way. This is just my personal opinion of the Summit Open Shot. I don't get paid to say anything. I don't believe in that. I feel like it's more important for people to tell the honest truth about products that they buy, especially when it comes to someone else potentially buying that product, and at least having a few different opinions on what works for people, what doesn't work. So that's something I take very seriously. So anyways, just going to jump right into it, guys. So first things first, I'm going to start out with the pros. Pros, it's a Summit. This thing is built just like a tank. It's very solid. It's got that dead metal technology, so it's very, very quiet. It does. One thing that I didn't like about it is Summit markets this stand to be 15 pounds. And if you've seen in my previous video, it's not 15 pounds. It may be 15 pounds without the seat, cables, straps, all that like that. I didn't weigh it without all that. But fully assembled, this thing comes in at roughly 17.5 pounds. So that's something that kind of aggravated me. But I will say it is much lighter than my old Summit Viper, which come in at about maybe 22, 23 pounds. So it is lighter, and which is something that I was definitely looking for. So this thing was not bad at all to carry through the woods. I took it on some deep woods treks this past hunting season, and with these straps that come with it, they got like kind of a bungee style straps, and they just sit good on your shoulders. They feel good, and the stand itself sits up high on your back, which I feel like is important because it distributes the weight a little bit higher. Don't feel like it's pulling you down when you're walking. So that's something I really enjoyed about this stand. Another thing that I really liked about this stand is it bites into a tree very well. As you can see, right here I'm on a walnut tree, and this thing, I mean, I could climb this tree no problem. So the part that hooks to the tree, it's got very good teeth on it. This thing, you could almost climb a phone pole with it, in my opinion. I haven't tried that, but it does work really well on tougher bark trees or hardwood trees, kind of some of your oaks and things like that. Now, I wouldn't prefer those type of trees. More so what I enjoy climbing is like poplars, pines, you know, something with a little bit softer bark. And that's usually the kind of tree that I look for when I am climbing, because I know that the stand itself, regardless if it's a Summit or not, it's going to dig into that tree. So that's going to help prevent the slipping if you're going up and down a tree. So that's something that I really enjoyed about this stand. It does dig into a tree extremely well. Another good thing I enjoyed about this stand is the main purpose of it, and that's the open front. So I primarily use this stand for bow hunting. I didn't rifle hunt out of it. Generally, when rifle or muzzleloader season comes around, I'm still hunting, ground hunting, blind hunting, stuff like that. I don't usually hunt out of a stand anyways. So during bow season, this is exactly what I wanted. I was able to harvest 2 deer sitting down. I didn't have to stand up, try to get my bow, turn around, get position. I was able to, I mean, that's just eliminating extra movement that you didn't need. So it was pretty cool that all I had to do, just reach for my bow, sit still, and then draw and go. So that was definitely a bonus and something that drew me to this stand, because before now, I'd never been able to shoot a deer sitting down. I've always had to stand up, turn around, get in position, and with this stand, that wasn't the case. Like I said, both the deer that I harvested, I was able to do it sitting down, which obviously eliminates more movement, chances of getting busted. So that's definitely another positive. Also, the flip-up seat is nice when you're climbing up and down the stand, or up and down the tree. It moves out of the way, so that gives you a little bit more room on the inside of this, because I will say it is kind of tight. I mean, it is a much smaller stand than your Summit Vipers or Glass or whatever. So having that extra addition of being able to flip up your seat, especially if you do have to stand up, I mean, you can flip that seat up out of your way and you get a little bit more room on your platform. So I would consider that definitely a positive. Alright guys, so we just went over the positives. Now let's talk about the negatives. So there are some negatives to this stand. So one, I'll go ahead and start out with the seat. It is not the most comfortable seat that you're going to sit in all day. Matter of fact, if you could sit in this stand all day for an all-day sit, you're going to be an Ironman, because this thing, after about 2 to 3 hours, it starts wearing on you. And I found myself having to stand up to give my backside a break. Just have to stand up, stretch a little bit, which, you know, I normally do anyways, but this, I felt like I was more doing that more so than, say, in an old Summit Viper or something like that, where it's got the sling style seat. So I'm going to go ahead and rate that as a negative or a con, just because it's just not the most comfortable seat. Now, you could probably do some modifications to this and make it more comfortable. Like I said, I didn't want to get into all that. I just wanted to use the stand as is to get a real world perspective of what I liked and what I didn't like. So that's definitely going to be a con for me. Some people may love it, some people may hate it. Me personally, I was not a fan of it. So just keep that in mind if this is a stand that you may potentially purchase at some point. The seat, after a while, it's going to wear on you, and it's not the most comfortable. Alright, so con number 2, these stirrups. So my old Summit Viper, and you're going to hear me reference my Summit Viper, because that was my first tree stand I ever bought, was a Summit Viper, and I've had that thing for 20 years. So I absolutely love that stand. Probably still could be using it, but I felt like 20 years, I got my money's worth. It was time to try something different. So that's my reference to this stand, is going to be comparing it to a Summit Viper. Alright, so the old Summit Vipers used to have something, it's like a strap you put around your feet, and no matter what you did, you could shake that platform as hard as you want to, and your feet wasn't going to come out of that that strap that came with that stand. Absolutely loved it, because I felt secure. I felt like I wasn't going to lose the bottom. So that was something I really enjoyed. This came with the Rapid stirrups. In my initial review, I knew that this was probably going to be something that I didn't like. However, I will say I did get used to it as I got more comfortable with the stand. Now, it did take quite a few sits to get good and comfortable with using these Rapid stirrups, but they're definitely not my first preference. But I did get used to them, so I guess you could consider that a con, more so than a positive. But if there was a way that you could bring back those old strapping styles where you could strap your feet in, that would be significantly better for old people like me. But this Rapid stirrups did work out just fine, and I mean, I didn't have no issues. It just took some getting used to. The one thing I don't like about them, they are like this hard plastic. So I kind of feel like if you're up there, you do something, you break one, or one falls off by some chance, because they are just barely held on with not just barely held on, but they are held on by a little screw right here. So if something that come unscrewed while you're up in the tree, I could imagine coming up or down with just one probably would be quite difficult. So in my opinion, I'm going to consider this a con. Alright, so moving on, con number 3 for me is the seat. You hear that? If you are not paying attention and you lower that seat or it slips out of your hand, you're going to hear a clanging sound. So it's got little Velcro pieces right here. I think that's probably to help dampen that noise. My suggestion is get you some rubber grommets or something rubber and put over there to help knock down that sound, but that's not something I mess with. I was very careful and I never had that issue, but one time where I stood up, and then as I was getting ready to sit back down, I sat down a little too hard and it made that clanging sound. So that's definitely going to be a con for me. It's something you probably can easily remedy though. It's just get you some rubber pieces or something like that sticky foam stuff, and you can put on here, and that would obviously take care of that problem. Alright guys, so we're going to move on to what I consider con number 4. So, with that being said, going up a tree is not an issue whatsoever. So, climbing up, you're mostly using your forearms, which is expected with this type of climber. It's not bad at all. Coming down can be the issue. And one of the issues that I did not like about it was when you have this seat up like this or down, either way, when you're climbing down, it's hard to see like through the stand where the tree is. So when you're walking your way back down the tree, it's hard to make sure that you're lining up your bottom platform with the center of the tree, so you're obviously centered and you're grabbing the tree as you're going down. I tried it with the seat down. That was the worst solution. Seat up still made it difficult to see, especially in the dark. I can remember, quick story, one hunt where I had deer coming in on me right at last light, so I had to sit well before dark because I didn't want to blow the area out, and basically had to climb the tree in the dark, which was almost miserable because I couldn't see what I was doing. I couldn't get a good feel of where the tree was, so that was something that I did not like. With the old Summit Vipers, I mean, you can fold that seat completely up out of the way, and you can see exactly where you're going as you're walking down. So with this one, it's more difficult. It's easily doable, but it's just more difficult to see, and you do have to take a little bit more time to get up and down the tree just for that reason, just to make sure that you're connecting at all points of contact with the tree as you're climbing up, and especially as you're climbing down. So I consider that a con. And if you're counting, obviously there's been more cons than positives with this stand, but don't get me wrong, I loved this stand. I mean, when you're in the tree and you're set up, you're good to go. So I mean, it's just overall it's a good stand. Would I purchase again? Absolutely. I would buy this stand again, and I would continue to use this stand. However, I am probably going to look at maybe getting something else more along the lines of the Summit Viper. Probably won't get another Summit Viper for sure, but maybe look at getting maybe a Summit Mini Viper and testing that out. But overall, guys, I enjoy this stand. I would recommend it as a purchase, but just know it's more of a workout to use as far as climbing and then getting it the way you pretty much want it to be. I mean, there are some minor modifications that you are going to have to do to get this stand dead quiet, working how you exactly want it to be. So, but anyways, guys, that's just my quick overall opinion on this stand. Like I said, I probably had 40 or 50 sits in it during bow season, and enjoyed the stand. Would recommend it again to anyone that's looking to purchase it, but just know that it does come with certain limitations as far as size, just overall size, length. It is shorter, and on the inside too. One thing I didn't account for is during the summer when I'd purchased this stand, I was using it and I just had kind of like summer clothes on, shorts and a t-shirt. Had no issues fitting inside. But during deer season, where you have thicker, bulkier clothes on, it is more difficult to fit inside this stand when you're climbing up or climbing down. But just keep that in mind, guys. And again, not hating on this stand at all. It's an awesome stand. Would recommend purchasing it. So yeah, that's just my take on it. But anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this video, just do me a huge favor. Hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. And stay tuned. Hopefully we'll have some more product reviews coming soon. So, see ya.